Hey, I'm sorry. I took a nap, so I got up just like I don't like being rushed. And on this occasion, I just got that feeling, so I have to calm down a little bit. Hello, Cartomancy Mesquite and Electra Storm and Doreen Arnold. I thank you so much for joining me for this version of Petty Party. Did y'all miss me? Because I sure did miss you. I missed all of you, every last one of you. And I hope that you're having a great weekend and that um, things are good in your life, or at least better. Uh, Things are better, getting better for me. And I'm just so thankful. So I have been on some adventures. I said I was visiting the Martians. What has actually happened is that I was hired, oddly enough, to work the front desk here at this madhouse called Motel 6 or Studio 6. It's both of them. And I'm telling you, I have a whole new respect for people who work in the hospitality industry because it ain't easy. My God, the people, and especially with our clients, our clientele. Okay, let me tell you something. We got the pimps, we got the hoes, lots of drugs. It's amazing, just fucking amazing. I was looking for a story that I saw earlier on my Google News feed, and it was about a man who had been swallowed by a whale, I guess, and regurgitated. A real live Jonah. The story of Jonah the whale, that he was swallowed by a whale, and because he didn't want to go where the spirit or his guides told him to go, and he ended up being swallowed by a whale, and got a cruise to there anyway. Hold on, I'm going to turn on the air conditioner because it's very, very warm today in Atlanta. What's the weather like where y'all is? Okay, I'm going to turn on the air, get my water, and I'm just going to have chats tonight. Ah, yes, that is better. It's been very hot here and very still. That still kind of heat, like you walk out and it just kind of slaps you in the face. That's what we've been having. So so I was actually asked to do it, and then be and asked to more asked to consider to do it. And before I knew anything, I was in training. Now, I come from a legal background and music, and so it's they have this kind of system set up where you have to go through about 95 things just to get one thing done. It's a very arduous procedure. Checking people in, checking them out is easy. The easiest thing to do is canceling a reservation or checking people out. Checking them in can be a bitch because uh, sites like booking.com, oh gosh, hotels.com, all of those sites, they book, but they don't see what we see. We may not have rooms. So it's very unpleasant and I'm on the now I'm working on the busiest shift. When I was in training, it was from 6 till 2 in the afternoon. And now I am at the busiest, wow, the busiest time of day, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. And when I tell you that it is cracking and it is nonstop, and there are characters here. We have the neighborhood gossip, bless her heart. When I was working the 10 to 6 shift, she would be over all night bringing me treats and wanting to talk and telling everybody's business, all but her own, and twisting things, twisting shit up. You know, I love her. I love her, love her. I thank her for thinking of me on those days. She's one of those ones that will come and say, "Hey, I don't mean to interrupt you, but," and then launch into a long dialogue. There's a guy, but for the first time last night, I felt that I kind of felt a little edgy that I might need to keep my mace nearby, because some guy who is high as a fucking kite, I don't know what his story is and what he's doing, but I suspect that he might not want to do that shit. Okay. But he got really aggressive with me last night, and it made me think, you know what? I have read the 91st Psalms, and I always work with angels. So I said, Michael, the demon slayer, the protector angel, all about me. You know, 91st Psalms, it tells us that 1,000 shall fall at your side, my side, and 10,000 at the right hand, but it shall never come nigh thee or close to us, which says that whatever is going on, it's 11,000 deep, baby. You got to work real hard to get to one of us in order to hurt us. Let me say hi to Clarence. Hi, Clarence. Hi, J-Lo. Let's see who else is here. I'm so happy that you guys came. I really am. We're gonna, this is Black Music Appreciation Month. So I have a friend coming on, not tonight, but at our next petty party, and that may very well be next weekend, from a group that, if you are of a certain age, if you're like 50, you would know this group because they were hot. They were very, very, very famous during their time, and the music is absolutely wonderful, just wonderful. Music that sounds like music. I don't know if it's me, but I wonder sometimes what the children of people like Cardi B and some others are going to, Mommy, what kind of love song did Daddy sing to you? What did you sing to Daddy? Wet ass pussy. That's what I sang to Daddy. What happened to real love song? Oh, J-Lo, I missed you too. I really did. I missed everybody. But after doing this work, I was just so exhausted. It's very exhausting because I'm empathic, and you catch all kinds of vibes, all kinds. You feel I have to sage the place and wipe it down with lemon and wonderful fragrances and clear the air, because you see the stress on people when they come in. Sometimes you see stress. Some are just a pain in the ass, always looking for an angle to try to get a discount on. Hi, I missed you too, Cardamancy Mesquite. I really did. I missed everyone. And I thought of you, and I would think maybe I need to get on and say something. I just simply didn't have the energy. When you visit the Red Planet, I'm here to tell you, it ain't friendly, okay? Visiting the Martians is not a vacation. It's hell. So anybody interested in traveling to Mars, have at it, because it is not cute on the Red Planet. I think because of these very rich characters that live here, I have to be very careful about what I say about them, because I know at least one person watches the uploads, and I don't want to get myself in any kind of trouble with somebody that lives here or hurts their feelings. But I'm telling you, there is absolutely a comedy or a dramedy in this place. It is not dull. You meet all kinds of people, I tell you. So to kick off my time back and and kick off this iteration of Petty Party, I just decided that we should celebrate. So I'm going to have a shot of this lovely agave I have, and Meyer lemon. Ooh, so happy Saturday, everybody. mm. That was good. Ah, delicious. I need my glasses, child, cheering, so I can read without, so I don't have to lean in. Happy Saturday. Well, in the news, what can we say? A bitch is gonna always be a bitch, you know. We all thought maybe we could breathe a little sigh of relief because the guy was not in the White House, and you know, he left it. The way he even left there was like, y'all can kiss my motherfucking ass, you know. He gave the staff time off, or probably demanded that nobody be there, so that when the Bidens arrived at the White House, there was no one there to greet him, or the first lady. He has just left a shitstorm, and now all of these things are coming out. One more thing I gotta get. I want to get the Oracle cards. I feel the spirit of the Oracle. Yeah, a bitch is gonna always be a bitch. He is gonna stay in the news, and he is determined to prove that he won by a landslide. So we have all of these red states putting up these voter suppression laws, and I was very happy to hear Merrick Garland say that they're going to do what they can, do something about that. That you just can't deny people, legal citizens, those of age to vote. You cannot deny them that, you know. So that was good news. But what is not good news is that the DOJ. Well, first of all, that there's still some Trump holdovers there. I think personally they need to get rid of everybody who was in Trump's administration, who was complicit in helping him be an asshole. Yeah, they need to get rid of everyone. Hi, Keisha. I had to catch myself. I'm glad to see you. Yeah. So I'm upset that he's decided that I think the DOJ should, or the United States should represent Donald. I didn't mean to say his name. Well, the former guy that they're going to be, the United States is going to, it's going to be the United States against E.J. Carroll. I think that is a wrong decision. I know that it's being appealed, and I hope the judge throws that shit out of there, because this man was in no way he didn't perform any kind of duties. He used the presidency to hide all of his bullshit. He was undercover, and he knew nobody could touch him as long as he remained president. And I think that was probably the reason he was there. He didn't want the job. He loved the power. But the reason I'm upset about Eugene Carroll is that I have been raped. And once you've been raped, you don't forget it. You know, you don't forget it. You don't forget how you feel powerless. You don't forget how you feel extra violated. You don't forget the smell of the person, the smell of their breath, their hair, their clothing. You don't forget that. You just simply do not forget it. And it took me, unfortunately for me, it was just, the whole ordeal was unfortunate. But it didn't end the rape didn't end for me. It had some very serious hangover, if you will, some very serious situations. And I'm not prepared to really share that right now, but just let me say that if you've ever been, I don't call myself a victim because it felt, I astrally projected as this person was violating me. I actually just kind of left because he caught me by surprise. I think he actually came. I was living in this very beautiful area in Hollywood, and in the older section where all the classic stars lived. And there was a beautiful cottage in the back that I was told Charlie Chaplin and William Holden and several people had lived in. Lovely little efficiency, small. It was all one big room, lots of glass. There was a fireplace. It was really, really a cute spot. And I think the person may have broken in to steal, and I came in the middle of it. And to this day, I will not leave a house without leaving a light on, or I insist that there's a light switch at the door so that I can turn lights on, because I wasn't able to do that in that place. You had to walk across the room. And before I could get there, I could feel him on me. It was at knife point. And the threat was very real. Hi, Desiree, and hi, Sharon. Hi, Chris. Hi, Rhonda. Yeah, it was quite the ordeal. And I don't think it's fair that they represent this rapist, a man who has 20-some charges of rape or at least sexual abuse against him. And now taxpayers are going to pay for his defense. I'm really praying that the appeals court says, I don't think so. I think he's a private citizen. Now let him come out of his own pocket and pay for it. And where does that leave the victim? Helpless. It's like nobody gives a shit, Nobody cares about her. I recall that after I was raped, I went to the police. The policeman spoke to me as if I deserved it, or if I'd done something that, I'd entice somebody, or how are you dressed and all this kind of shit. It was really, really disheartening, because that's the mindset of a lot of men. Well, if you were raped, then you actually brought it on yourself because you wore a blouse that was sheer, or you wore some tight pants, or just any old excuse to take the onus off the rapist. So he was never found, but to my knowledge. But I figured if he'd done it once, he probably would do it again. And when he wanted to sodomize me, that was when I found the strength. Something came over me, and I found the strength to fight him like I wanted somebody to die, and I was going to be the one that was going to live. It was, when he saw that I was no longer compliant or just gonna let him have his way, he actually got up and left. Of course, there was a veiled threat to tell anybody, blah, blah, blah. Hell, I couldn't see. I could not see. The only way that I could ever find this cat is if they would have done a rape kit and some DNA testing, or if I would recognize him by the sound of his voice and by his smell. You don't forget that. And I know that E. Jean Carroll didn't forget it either. At first, she wasn't going to do anything until women said to her, you owe it to other women. Those women that came out and said he raped, you need to say something about this. And she kept the evidence. So I think that perhaps if the Justice Department does go through with this, if there's a thing called discovery, and he may have to submit to a DNA test. That is what might happen. And it's a shame to say, but there are just some people, it's very difficult to feel sorry for them. All of his deeds are like self-inflicted, you know? You're just an asshole. You've always been an asshole. That's all you know how to be. And so you treat people as if they are disposable. They don't mean anything to you. I think I was listening to Johnny from Thero's Apprentice today, and the question was, will Donald Trump flip and you know, throw everybody under the bus? And the first thing that came to mind, I started laughing. He said, will he tell? And I'm thinking, everybody, he's going to tell on everybody. If it means that it buys him some time, then, hey, or gets him off the hook, he's going to throw everybody under the bus. What a gangrenous dick that which he has. I doubt his probably has like been pushed up back into his big old fat stomach, because he would have to stand in the mirror to even check to see if it exists, you know. And he's still going around speaking out of that fetid cesspool beneath his nose, talking about how it was stolen. This was stolen from me. I won in a landslide. This is stolen. You know, sit your shitty ass down. And moving on to, speaking of shitty asses, moving on to the butt sniffers, the ones that can't wait to part his cheeks and sniff his booty hole. They must really love the smell of shit. That's the entire Republican Party, all of them, led by Mitch the bitch McConnell. Have you noticed when he speaks, only the bottom of his mouth is the only thing that moves? He doesn't move his top lip. I bet his breath smells like fucking hellfire and brimstone, that people want to step back. You know, he's that guy that you offer a piece of gum or a mint to, and he says, no, thank you. No, thank you. Well, you know, have you ever been with people that when they you don't know why, but their breath would like fill up the car? If you're riding with them or something and you can just smell their breath, it's like, it makes it's very unpleasant. So yeah, it's amazing to me. Amazing that these folks are still spreading his butt cheeks. I wonder if people like Ron Johnson get their direct shot, if they stick a straw up his ass and just suck out the remains of undigested hamburgers and McDonald's French fries, because they are really trying to tell us that what happened on January 6th was just a thing. It was just a thing. Nothing happened. Some idiot from Georgia had the nerve to say, that it was just like folks just coming in, just touring and whatnot. And I know the reason that they don't want, I know the reason they don't want an investigation. I know the reason that they don't want a commission. And it's because they know. Oh, I think that he has syphilis-like symptoms. I wonder if he had it and it was not completely healed and the effects are affecting his brain. Yeah, that's called paresis, I think. When someone has syphilis, that Hitler went mad with it. It attacks like your spine and goes right up into the brain. And that could very well be. We don't know. But he'd have to have a brain to begin with. I don't know. When I lived in New York and we went to attended a few of the parties, they're boring, very boring. People just kind of standing around and looking at each other, and they were not the creme de la creme of society, baby. They were anything but. and I'm not putting the people down, but it's like, damn, you know, you had your Guidos and their girls, and there were a few like I don't Ukrainians or Russians or whatever. It was a very interesting crowd, and there was lots and lots and lots. Oh, for entertainment purposes only, YouTube. This is just entertainment. Yeah, I should have said that at the beginning, huh? This is just for entertainment purposes only. There are lots and lots of coke, lots and lots of other drugs too, I'm sure. But when someone asks you to go to the bathroom to powder your nose, you were literally going to powder your nose, you know. It was all you heard up in the bathroom. Lord have mercy. And he liked to make grand entrances, so he would wait till a lot of people get there, and then his ass would come, you know, like emerge out of the darkness, I guess out of the pits of hell, and then come in and greet everybody. I did also want to tell you that and ask that you hold some light around me. I've had, for the last several weeks, I've had some health issues that I'm dealing with. Had some x-rays, and my spine and a bunch of stuff just ain't looking cute up in there, you know. And I was feeling like that carpal tunnel with my hands from all the typing I do, as well as I think some of it might be a little what do you call it? The nerve thing. And so I've had to, my hands, particularly these two fingers, I would wake up. The pain was so painful. I would wake up and almost and cry and pray and tell it to leave because it was so painful. And now the medication that they gave me, I guess it's speaking a little bit to the nerves, because now it doesn't hurt. It just feels like it's itchy or something, you know, and it got rid of some of the numbness, but not all of it. So keep me in the light, you know, we have to pray for each other. Yeah, neuropathy, exactly, J-Lo. Maybe Jen Lynn can put you in the healing circle, Callie's kid. Perhaps she will. Perhaps she'll do that. That would be absolutely lovely. Now, if you've been watching Adrian and Johnny and any of the readers, Marianne, when they're talking about what's happening within the heavens, we have to know that we are truly connected to the whole of the infinite intelligence. God, I call it God. I call it this beautiful creator, infinite wisdom. Because, you know, to think that we're not connected to things that happen in the heavens is really kind of ridiculous. Now, we had been told that Mercury was going in reverse, rewinding. And because and a lot of it was in Gemini, I think. I have a Libra sun and a Gemini moon. So I was really like spinning around, you know. And the thing that really kept me calm was that I could listen to music. All of a sudden, my FM radio would come on, and I'd find the song that I'd been hearing in my head. And that kept me really, really calm and stable. And they were talking about on this particular, the last one I watched, I'm trying to catch up on all of them, was with Adrian, Lauren Margulies, and Thero's apprentice, Johnny. And the messages were really what I had been getting in my spirit, and that is to be still. You know, we're taught in this world, in this society, that if you oh, hey, Clarence, you said Garland is committed to protecting voting rights. I hope he does. I hope he jumps in with big feet, Clarence, and stomps the shit out of all of these rules that these states put in place They should not have the power to overturn anything. If the election is the election, you don't get a chance to play with it because your guy didn't get it. But anyway, as I was saying, that the message that I was getting, that it was really time to stand still. That's also like a biblical principle in 2 Chronicles chapter 20, when Jehoshaphat, who was being attacked from all sides from his enemies, went to God and he prayed that, we really, a prayer of needing help. And the Spirit fell on one of his congregants. He had a prayer meeting, and that was when God said, don't you worry about a thing. Stand still and know that I am God. And he gives you the courage to go out and face all of your fears. We have the power and the glory within us because with every breath we take, we breathe in the goodness, we breathe in God, we breathe in life, we breathe in the Spirit. So it was for me confirmation, because I was part of outside of the fact that I'm in this madhouse. That's all I can. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's a madhouse. You can't be weak doing this gig, I tell you that. Oh, that water is good. Just to be still. In our society, we're taught, if you're not busy all the time, if you take some time away, a mental health day or something, you're being lazy or whatever. And nothing could be further from the truth. You cannot continue to give and give and give and give and give and then run on empty. You really do need to take time for yourself. And I say that especially to women who are mothers and who have children and husbands and jobs. You're constantly doing things to please other people or to satisfy other people's needs. And sometimes, mothers, you forget about yourself. You feel guilty if you take some time for yourself. It's necessary. It's absolutely necessary that you take time for yourself. Seriously. So I was noticing that all of the readers were kind of confirming that this is a time to be still, that it's also a time for us to set intentions. I mean, maybe revisit, to me, projects that you started and kind of put to the side. It might not be good to start anything new, but you can certainly massage and revisit something that you have begun. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your dreams, because I know that there is nothing impossible for the Holy Spirit that abides within us. Nothing impossible. I was talking to the Lord because I take a lot of lifts, and my neighbor told me that they were going up 40% on their rates, and I'm already, cringing at the rates. And I had been saying, I have to get a car. I said, it's time for me to get a car. And bam, just like that, a way to get a car popped up. Immediately. Spirit showed me. And I thought on this one too. I'd share a little bit about myself and my experience. As a child, I was really in touch with spirits and with the Holy Spirit. I had a dream that I was in this huge auditorium. It was filled with people, just filled with people. And there was this light beam, like we were on a stage, like they were on a stage, this light beam, just pure, beautiful love and light. And I was sitting in the audience, and this light being chose me and took me down on the stage and laid me down on a platform of some kind and filled me with that beautiful light and love. I'll never forget that dream. There were times when I was a child that I couldn't control the astral projection. I would just find myself floating above, watching me down here and clinging on to somebody to say, this isn't real, this isn't real, just absolutely clinging to the nearest person, hanging on to them so that I wouldn't totally float away. I had vivid dreams, and there were times when I just could go into the prophetic, not even knowing that it was a prophecy. That got me in trouble. a lot of times people didn't want to know. They didn't want to know, okay? It's like, you're going to sit your ass down and mind your own goddamn business. Oh, yeah. So I was very, very in touch. And I'd like to say my mind was in heavenly places because I love Jesus, I love everything that Yeshua stands for. And we are all capable of being that person, that entity. We're all capable of it. We really are. I met my spirit guide, one of my main ones. He's a First Nation man, handsome, has lots of thick black hair that he pulls back into a ponytail. And it never fails that when I'm feeling as if someone is attacking me spiritually or even in the reality, he shows up in dreams in full war gear, beautiful, full headdress, the whole thing. It's amazing. I love having him around. I love having him around. I really do. I really do. So there was also a time when I was very actively learning to read the tarot, and I got very good at it. And for some reason, some woman at church who was a seer talked about somebody turning over some cards. And in the church, it's witchcraft. It's of the devil. It's not, it's not you playing with familiar spirits, and I was made to feel very badly about it. So I just stopped doing it. I put the cards down. However, I just never lost interest, and I love seeing how spirit works when they're like a group of readers, like Jen and Johnny and Hassel and Norman, Becca, some or Adrian and they just are all on this thing that is, it's just magic, because they're getting downloads quickly, and it's just, I just love the flow. I love the flow, and Johnny is very special to me because Johnny is a prophet. If Johnny says something, you can take it to the bank. You can bet that it's going to happen. You can bet that it's going to be true. I've been watching him for years when he was only showing his hands. I was very surprised when he showed his face. I was like, oh, that's who that is. At last. Let me see some of your comments. The ancient Kemetic scripts told us that the last of these days and the beginning of the next age will be completely out of our hands. All you can do is work on you. Be the best you can be. That is really the truth. Because somewhere along the line, we have forgotten we have forgotten our connection to the spiritual world, to the Holy Spirit. I call it the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, because that's the only spirit I want to deal with in terms of getting messages. I get messages from my angels, but that's what you can call yours, whatever you need to call them. But I've never, whenever I have been disobedient to that still small voice, I always end up in a pickle. So, so I have learned that when I hear that, it's sometimes it can be kind of loud, but most of the time it's just soft. When you listen to it and just do it, do what they say, do what your spirit guides tell you to do. Do what your guardian angels tell you to do. They are not there to mislead you. You know, they're not there to mislead you. They're there to help us get to where we want to go. Because oftentimes the things we desire and the way we think we ought to get it is not the way it really unfolds, you know. It's full of peaks and valleys and rivers, and I mean you have to go through some things and to get there. I feel like we're all being prepared right now, because there's so many people in the world who are searching and who are praying. And that's the one thing that coronavirus, when the world stopped, when everything stopped, and people had to spend time with themselves and their families. After 2 weeks, folks got, oh yeah, I got 2 weeks off, huh? Hey, 2 weeks, we'll be back to work. People got bored after 2 weeks. 2 week vacation was all they were accustomed to. You might be able to hang in there for a month, but I heard many times, boy, I don't know when school's gonna open, but I sure will be glad when school opens so these kids can go back to school. And I thought to myself, don't you think I think it's lovely that you have time with your children. I mean, kids do what kids do. They're children. And they are doing the best, and what they are, little human beings. We forget how intelligent they are. Little human beings, and they're doing the best they can in a big people's world. So we heard about people drinking a lot more. There was a lot of abuse going on in homes. It felt like folks just went nuts. Keisha says, I remember my grandma, my father's mother, who was a God-fearing woman, telling me that it was because I was above the situation I grew up in. Yeah, you can call it your gut, Chris. You're right. You're that instinct, that thing it's within all of us, really. We have to start listening. And right now, during this time, oddly enough, except when I'm in the madhouse called the front desk, it's still. It's still. Now, I had no idea the area that I live, where I'm currently residing, where I'm going to purchase my home, is known to be a really beautiful, quiet neighborhood, or little or town, or whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of money here. It's quiet money. It's not loud money. Like if you know anything about Atlanta, Buckhead. Everybody wants to be in Buckhead. This is like probably generational money, beautiful homes, beautiful landscaping. I had no idea that there was a bad section, and I'm apparently living in the worst part of it. We have the police do come through frequently. They're good God. Even working that gig, I've had to call them a couple of times. The first time I felt very badly because the young girl that they had to just escort off the property I could tell she had mental shit going on, that she wasn't connecting to the world or something. She had some stuff going on. And then I noticed that one of the cops was was ready to go in on her. And I asked him, I said, no, you don't have to talk to her like that. Be gentle to her, It's not, you don't have to be Mr. Tough Guy. And he listened because it was obvious that she had some other shit going on. And I felt badly about having to call the police. They didn't arrest her or anything. She was just given a ticket for criminal trespass and told not to come back. But I heard that she came back. So, hey, there must be something here. And oddly enough, she passed by my door and asked if she could go to the bathroom, and I let her go, of course. And after I knew that there was something that she needed. I just prayed for her, I pray for her. And so I do feel that COVID and people having to be locked in and people not being able to go out and making stupid comments like, wearing a mask is akin to slavery. I want to slap the taste out of somebody's mouth and talk that dumb shit. Wearing a mask, baby, ain't nothing compared to slavery, bitch. This woman, some official chick in California made the comment, that it was akin to slavery. And you just want to slap people with that dumb shit. No, it is not. All right, Jason, everyone gotta go. I love this. Oh, hey, Clarence, are you, love and hugs to you. To you too. Are you working? Do you work? Or are you, maybe you're working and you're not supposed to be online? Is that it? Thank you for coming, Clarence. Hugs and love to you too, darling. And I do hope that you have a grand evening. And do come back and watch. I'm not really I'm just talking about myself, telling my stories. I've had a great, I have had a wonderful life and been very, very close to fame and stuff, and people who are famous, politicians, as well as people in showbiz and in music. I have stories to tell. My friends say I should write a book. Perhaps I shall. Perhaps I will. When my friend Eloise came on, she was, her family, as I said to you, if you enjoy classical music, her brother Hubert is a classical flutist, but he's also a grand jazz flutist, and they are like royalty in the music business. Her brother Ronnie is considered the granddaddy of fusion. If you heard Always There, his band was called Precious Sensitive. He started out with Earth, Wind, and Fire and left and formed his own thing. And I mean, it was kick-ass music, really, just wonderful, jump up music. It was because of her, I had that gig with Dylan it was one night. I thought it was going to be like I was going to be there and earn a lot of money and hit the road and all of that. But the singer that decided, who said she was quitting, decided maybe she ain't going to quit. So I guess she changed her mind. And I can't say that I blame her. Now Dylan is 80 years old. I'm looking at some of the people that I have known and worked with, and they have silver hair. I ain't gonna never have no silver hair as long as L'Oreal or Dark and Lovely, as long as there's an aisle that I can go down and pick out a color. What? Yes. So let's take a look at the Oracle cards. I just feel I've been feeling them lately and see what they want us to know. I hope all of you have managed to remain calm, because this retrograde is tough. This one has been pretty tough. And that is, it messes with electronics. It messes with people's minds. And I got it with both barrels at the front desk. I think I'm going to start recording some of the stories and perhaps build my comedy, because there are characters here, real characters, and I'm sure every last one of them has a story. You love Earth, Wind, and Fire, so do I. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, her brother Ronnie started with Earth, Wind, and Fire, and it was because of Eloise that I was at Carnegie Hall with Hubert and the family and the New York Symphony Orchestra. It was an amazing, amazing night, and it was on October 30th. I want to say October 30th, in 1980, maybe. Great concert. I had an opportunity. I got the mic. He gave me the mic. That's always special, when they like you enough so that they'll pull you from the background to the front and let you do your little thing-a-ling-ling. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was one of the most generous people I've met, because there's singers that just simply won't do that. They would rather lose a gig than turn you on to it if they get an overload of work. They're not kicking it to you. That's so selfish to me. There's enough for everybody, isn't there? If the sun shines on the just and the unjust, shines on every fucking body, what makes you think that if you give me a little gig that you won't be blessed? Speaking of gigging, I'm gigging next weekend. I had one was it last weekend? So the music is coming back, and I'm very excited. I have some potentially wonderful news coming up. I'm just going to hold it close to the vest. So yeah, the music is opening up. I can go back in and work on my project and complete some of the songs and begin working on the new ones. I'm excited about that. This gig coming up next Saturday is outdoors because the weather is nice. I'm hoping it doesn't rain, because the weather here up in Atlanta, child, she's schizophrenic, honey. One day you're hot, the next day you might be down in the 40s. One day it's raining like cats and dogs, and then it's sunny. It's just, you just never know. So it's always best to check the weather when you're getting ready for an outdoor event. At any rate, I will be there with all of my fabulousness, honey. I can hardly wait. And what one of the cards says, this card that was on the bottom of the deck. I love these little cards. They were a gift, and I love them. I love them. I love the person who gifted them. This says release. Release. So yeah, it's time for us to release some shit that ain't serving us no more, okay? That can be people. That might be a hard one, but that can be people. That can be habits. It can be anything that is not bringing you any joy right now. Because you see, it's okay for you to want to be fulfilled in your life. I don't know what the average age of anybody is. I'm over 50. I'll never tell you how much over 50, but I'm past 50 years old, and I'm at the point. I've gone through all kinds of phases. I was a people pleaser. I would do anything and everything for the person I loved, or for people that I liked, that I thought liked me. I've been through all that gambit, and forgetting about myself, and forgetting that what I was feeling was legitimate. My feelings matter too. So now I say, I must be happy. And that goes for anybody in my love life. That the understanding is that I must be happy. I must be happy. I will love you. And that's A, B, C, and D. And if refer, if you get a little confused, refer to the former A, B, C, and D, and E. I must be happy. It's all about me. So this is telling us to release, and it is a waning. Oh, I need my glasses, y'all. A waning crescent moon. Release. Let it go. If you've had something on your mind that's been bugging you, if you've been feeling as if, you know the feeling, you get a little uncomfortable. At least I do. When I know it's time for me to switch gears, I start getting a little uncomfortable. And you have to let it go. You have to release it. So that's one of the cards. That's one of the oracle cards, and that means a lot because I think that was also in Johnny and Adrian and Lauren's video. Releasing, letting go. Sometimes it's hard to let go, I know it because I feel that in my life and time, I've probably held on to something far too long. And by the time I get it and let it go, then you got to spend all this time trying to heal. When your spirit was telling you all the time, this is not good for you. He is not good for you. She is not good for you. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Release. Breathe. Yeah. Let's see something else. So let me see what else I can figure out. What else you want us to know? Oh boy. The next card is surrender. Oh, I gotta figure out where this camera is. There it is. Surrender. Release and surrender are so similar. When you release, you pretty much are put into a state of surrendering. And that's when you figure out you've been walking around with your shoulders up in your ears. And when you finally let go, you feel such relief. When you finally let it go and you can breathe. I guess I'm saying to you, y'all, that this to me is a time when we are experiencing rebirth. This nation is experiencing rebirth. She is going to have to live up to what she has said she is. You dig? And that means when the girl with the standing up in the New York, wherever she is, harbor, and she says, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses." I mean, old white men are gonna have to understand that you're not gonna live forever. You've been ruling this country since it was founded. It's time for y'all's asses to take your Viagra taking motherfuckers, limp dick, dry ball bastards. It's time for you to go home. Go home and write a book. Go home and play with your grandchildren. It is time for you to go. Release and surrender, bitches. Because you're not going to stop what is happening in this country. You're not going to stop it. Oh, and poor Zaddy, he's thinking he's going to be reinstated in August. Now that bitch Sidney Powell she got Dominion sending her, suing her for what, 1.6 $3 or $4 billion, and she's talking about anybody that was reasonable wouldn't believe the shit she was saying, and he's still listening to her. Okay, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. And Mike Lindell, Mr. My Pillow, I think he eats the foam out of his pillows, because I can't believe half the shit he's talking about. He's been talking about the evidence. I got the evidence. I got the evidence. And he's going to be reinstated in August. What happens in August when he's not reinstated? I don't know if we can look forward to more of what we had on January the 6th, or maybe by that time, some of his followers will have awakened and they say, you know what, this man tricked us, because a gang of them are being tried and indicted and stuff, and I would be very, very pissed if they got off with just a slap on the wrist. I would not be happy, because there are men. There was a man who was executed, who had served all this time in prison and was innocent and was executed. There are men, particularly black men, who may have had some weed seeds or something, while a white man can have pounds knowingly intended to distribute, and he'll get less time than a black man who may have had a nickel bag. So it's the browning of America. It really is. If you even watch commercials, you see these biracial families, golden children. And I imagine that there's always going to be something that we dislike about the other people, and they dislike about us. Will always be, but it just seems utterly ridiculous to me. What can we do about it? We have to really tap into the love you one another as I have loved you. It's the ultimate thing. How many of you are in love? How many of you have? Raise your hand if you in love and you got a man or a woman. Raise your hand. Tell me. Hey, Jay. Hi, Edwina Stevens. Hi, Linda Sandoval. Oh, I see some new people in here. Yay. I think I see Lisa. Let's see. What is she? Lisa ATL? Something like that. Yeah, Lisa ATL. Myself. Hey, J Cat Lady girl. How you doing? Hey, girl. And is it me Duchess or me Duchess? Yeah, yeah. Oh, and Sharon Sipe. Thank you so much, all of you that have come on to hang with me for a minute. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So, what do you guys think? You think that? Oh, I told you to raise your hand if you were in love, if you had a significant other. By show of hands. Oh, Edwina. I'm sorry to hear it. Ah, I'm sorry to hear it. That's sad. But you know what? They don't leave us. And I'm sure that they would want you to, if you have so much love to give, that you would absolutely, they would want you to be with somebody You know, we can't, I read somewhere that you live longer when you're in a loving relationship, especially if you're getting sex on the regular, that we're dying by cutting ourselves off, but we don't have regular sex. I got to do something about that. Yeah. I wanted to talk about a number of things, and I think I got a bunch of shit scrambled because it's coming very quickly. But I was just feeling the oracle cards tonight. I just felt like there were we're getting messages of how to stand still. We're getting messages of how to not be afraid to go deep, 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 deep into ourselves, even so that we even see the parts of ourselves that we don't even fucking like, Go in and do some body work, some inner body work. Yeah, it's that time. It's time to do that in this particular rewind. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We don't know how to do it. We just, who is that who's saying meditation? Your thoughts are gonna come. It's not, it's thoughts. You don't ever stop thinking, even when you're meditating. The thoughts come and they go. You release them. And then you do get to that quiet space. At least I do. But it's not because I'm stopping my thoughts from coming. It's just allowing them to pass through. Passing through. Oh, my hands. You just have to, you are my hands. You have to work. I am also, I've put the transcribing aside for a while because I was spending so much time typing, and then I didn't have a real comfortable place to do it. I started to feel really uptight. And at one point, this area was so painful that I thought I was going to have to go to the emergency room. I didn't understand why I was hurting so badly. Oh, bodies, baby, are amazing things. Oh my God. So I was enduring some health shit too. Now I'm just only traumatized because I'm telling you, it's a fucking zoo, okay? It's a zoo. It's a zoo. Yeah. So did anybody answer can you get a voice program that will do the no, that's how it comes. It's called Dragon. That's how it comes to me. I have to pull it down because Dragon isn't always accurate. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes all you have to do is listen, but you still have to put it in hard copy. The court loves paper. What can I say? Edwin, you say you're enjoying your quiet space now. I do the best to keep my place filled with peace and love. Chaos doesn't come to my door. I can have it wide open. And they won't look in here. They keep moving. I'm excited about being able to purchase a home, the home that the Holy Spirit led me to. You see, if you listen, they'll tell you some stuff, but you have to be quiet. Have you ever just gotten up and stayed in the silence? No TV, no phone, just quiet, just the silence. I do that quite a bit. There are days when I don't even deal with the phone or TV. I'll read. Just going into the quiet, the silence, and letting your angels and your spirit guides speak to you. It's a beautiful thing. They can tell you some things, prepare you for some things. I think I'm going to have another shot of this wonderful agave. Cheers. Oh. Ah. Mmm. And Meyer Lemon. I know what it does, but and it is an amazing program. However, the way it works with what I'm doing is that Dragon is what some court reporters use Dragon to they use Dragon to take down what the court proceeding. When it comes to me, I get a recording of the entire thing, and sometimes on the takedown, it's accurate, and but much of the time it is not. You have to go in and fix some stuff. It is an amazing program, though. It really is. Once Dragon gets used to your voice and the way you speak, it is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. A lot of stuff we do is amazing. We don't know how amazing we are, I don't think. I'm trying to find a story about the man who got swallowed by the whale. I know I saw it. I want to read it to you. He was because he's like a real life Jonah. Jonah and the whale, baby. The boys in their summer dresses. Oh, some coming up shows, y'all. I really want to. I'm going to see if I'm going to find that story. A blue whale. Regurgitates. Amen. Is this it? Yeah, this guy said it. Yeah, extremely lucky time man comes across whale vomit. What? No, $1 million vomit. Really? That ain't what I'm looking for. But it's apparently whale waste is extremely important, and you can earn a lot of money. What's so special about whale vomit? The wax-like substance is produced in the jet. Oh, it's ambergris. That's what it is. Floating gold. All right, but that's not what I'm talking about. I actually saw on the Google thread that there was a man who said that he was trapped in the whale and that the blue whale spat him up. Now, God, I'm just wondering how do you? I would think some of the digestive stuff would begin to. Oh God, just can't think about it. Woo, I can't think about it. Yes, Chris, you're right. Everything we do has to be verbatim. Absolutely. You have to go, even with word feathers like, or you know what I mean, or all of that stuff has to, some court reporters want all of that stuff in there. That was off Cape Cod. Oh, Chris, you found it? Put in whale swallows man near Cape Cod. Yeah. What do you think about black women wearing bonnets outside of the house? I'm going to tell you what I think about it. I think it's tacky, okay? My father, may he rest in peace and power, wouldn't even want us to come to the breakfast table with hair rollers in our hair. You didn't have to comb your hair, but you had to take them out of your hair. And I remember one time I had hair rollers in my hair and I put on a pretty scarf and I went out and he saw me out and he came home and he was furious. It was like, you don't go out looking like that. I think that now they're trying, what if you feel like you want to wear a bonnet, I know why. Black women have special hair and we do all kinds of things. It's upkeep. We gotta do a whole bunch of stuff to keep it moisturized, etc., etc. But I would not wear a bonnet in public. And especially if you wearing a bonnet with pajamas and slides. Now, girl, you had to check yourself before. Put your best foot forward, you know? And I know there's this, I don't even know that while we're having this, there's this back and forth about women who are defending it and women. I just think it's tacky to me. I would not do it. I would not go out without a bra. And even if I don't put on full makeup, I'll put on lipstick. I just think some things are for when you're inside your house. Yeah, pajamas are for when you're inside your house. Their throats are not large enough to swallow. Very good. I'm glad. Bless his soul. He must have panicked though. Lecture Storm said, I only wear when I go to bed. I never leave it. Yeah, that's right. I think Monique was making a valid point. I think maybe, but, sometimes Monique, bless her heart. I went on the road with her one time too. She was a lot of fun. That was just before she was getting ready to do the Parkers. She had just gotten these big projects started. She was a blast. I mean, she's a show enough road dog. We had a ball. I think she meant well, really, because what she says, what happened to pride? What happened to us caring about how we look when we go outside? I didn't think there was anything wrong with her saying something about it. Because I just get baffled when I see, when you see the worst transgressions, child, Walmart, baby, black and white folks. You go to Walmart, you can get an eye full of butt crack, Not cute. Not cute. Speaking of Walmart, I don't know what the Walmarts are doing where you live, but here they've all become electronic. It's all self-checkout, And whenever I go to Walmart, which is, I probably go once a month because I have to get prescriptions filled there. I made friends with some of the cashiers. You just see the ones you see and, hey girl, how you doing? You just see them. So I was shocked when I went in and everything was, they totally redesigned the inside almost as if overnight. And you have to do your own groceries and pack your own bags, etc. So the first time I went, it was a madhouse. It really was. People were stressed out. They didn't know what was going on. One man went all the way over the edge, okay? The poor little fella who was supposed to be monitoring all of these folks. I didn't know if they were going to take his ass, tase him or what, but he went totally over the edge. He was so stressed out about it. Well, I finally got out and I was standing waiting for a lift, and this sweet looking little white lady came out. Gray haired, she looked like she smelled of cinnamon and vanilla, like she baked cookies or something. And she looked at me and she said, fuck Walmart. I hate this motherfucker. I didn't like coming here before. Now I got to come here and pay and bag my own shit. Fuck them. I fell out. I couldn't believe it. Mother was pissed. You hear me? But the funniest part is that when you looked at her, you would never think that she would say anything like that. She looked like a little church lady. Like that tickled me so because she just probably picked up on my thoughts because I was thinking this is fucked up. You know, I don't like it, and especially when they say that nobody lost their jobs. Now, how are you? Can you prove that to me? Can you prove to me that no one lost their jobs because you guys got this automated shit going on? These corporations are sneaky. And I'm really pissed with Jeff Bezos. You don't treat your employees right, but you buying a yacht, a super yacht, and a yacht to watch the yacht and talking about going into space. Take your ass up there and stay. At least his wife is doing wonderful things with Melissa. Was that her name? No, I'm talking about Bezos. I forget his wife's name, but she's doing some great things with her piece of the change. But it was reported that he could get every one of his employees over 80 grand and it wouldn't put a dent. Every one of his employees, 80 grand, and it wouldn't put a dent in the money he earns. Now he want to go to outer space along with Elon Musk and I think is it Richard Branson? He's been playing and toying around with that for a long time. You know, I like him. I like Sir Richard Branson. But you want to boast about all your possessions, and yet people have to pee in bottles because you work in them. You don't build a facility so that there's a restroom nearby for anybody to go to, and you're working people like dogs, and you don't want them to unionize, and you're not paying them $15 an hour. You son of a bitch. Go to space and stay there. Damn. Yeah. I wonder what the fascination is. Well, I know what the fascination is because I love space stories. I really love Star Trek. I love Star Trek. I still like it. Anything having one of my first books when I read in fifth grade was called Tal, and it was about this wizard and this little boy and how they traveled in space and time, and it was just fascinating. I love the whole science. It makes sense to me. But I don't know if I just want to go out and be floating in the air with the same people for any extended period of time. You know, they might start to, it might be feeling like lockdown. And where's your ass gonna go? When you're up there, your ass is just up there. But I'm thinking that maybe, just maybe. Oh, here's Keisha. I remember someone saying that McDonald's was going to install robots to cook the food, and the customers were to type in their order on a touchscreen self-serve. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Bezos pays no taxes, neither does Musk. And if they paid their fair share of taxes, that would really that would put billions of dollars back into the economy, back into. Why is it that a secretary, why is it that you and I are paying more taxes than these billionaires? And they say, well, we create jobs. Well, you're not paying nobody a living wage. So what the fuck? What are you talking about? Now that these states are talking about they're going to stop unemployment benefits. This dumb motherfucker up in here, for entertainment purposes only, Brian Kemp's talking about in June, we're going to stop taking federal funds for unemployment. I don't know. I might have to get him. If you think that $300 is making a big, big, big impact, that these people are living high off the hog on $300 a week, they wasn't getting paid shit in the first place. $300. It went down from $600. Now, there were a lot of workers who had never earned $600 a week, who were working 2 and 3 jobs, and their checks never added up to $600. Water is good. Whoa. So if you think, and then they reduced it to 300. I noticed people are displaced. There are folks, there are landlords who, rather than give anybody any kind of grace, when they had that moratorium on paying rent, the freaking owners decided to sell the property rather than allow somebody to live on it and not pay them. Now, I'm not angry because they are billionaires, because I bet it's a lovely life. It's a lovely life. But I do think that they should consider what has gotten them to become billionaires. If everybody at Amazon decided to walk off and not do nothing, his business would be what? Dead. And they don't want them to unionize, because if they unionize, that means you got to pay them a certain amount of money. Oh gosh, but boy, the freedom you have. Money is a wonderful servant, but it is not a good master. If money is your God, then you're pretty fucked up anyway. That's little Donnie's problem. His God is money. And all of those that flock around them are the same kind. They're him pushed out. They want power and they want money. And they don't give a shit about their constituents, like that pan-headed fucking Joe Manchin. That bastard. See, there's always got to be one. We're in a situation where the Dems could really make some great changes. And he's screaming, bipartisanship. I just can't do it. If it's not bipartisan, we got to reach you guys out. If you take your head out of your ass, you might hear and see better. Did you not hear McConnell say his main focus is to stop Joe Biden, you stupid bastard? Why is it that the Dems have to reach across the aisle and deal with people that don't want to deal with them? And I'm sick of Democrats just not saying, fuck you. We're going to get all of this done with or without your asses. You give them everything they want and they still don't vote with you. Joe Manchin is a selfish man. And he's not paying attention to even his own constituents because he's getting paid. He's nothing more than just a tool for the Republicans. Oh, but he's going to have a day of reckoning. Yep, he's going to have a day of reckoning. Something's going to come up that's going to back his ass up against the wall. But for him to play like he's playing right now, I would rather that he crosses the aisle and stays his motherfucking ass over there. You cross the aisle and stay. That bastard. Everything that the Dems are doing, the people in West Virginia, some of the poorest people in the nation, want. What makes you think that if a person is, if they're builders and they want to help build highways and stuff, Biden is looking out for people who may not go to college, but is a skilled worker, a good worker. This would give people jobs, a way to support their families, and our infrastructure is crumbling. See, and up here in Atlanta, they keep building shit on top of shit. In a minute, all that shit's gonna come falling down. It did once. They keep building more. If Atlanta was a woman, it'd be a full-figured black girl because she got a bunch of curves and booty and everything, and titties and everything else. Everything is curves. And if you can wake up one day and think you know where you're going and you know your neighborhood, and before you know it, they built something. They got the baffling up. They built something, and now you don't know you don't know it anymore. You don't know it anymore. That's why I think it's time for these men to go. It's time for them to go. You've earned some money. You got some money. Sit your motherfucking ass down. Can't stand it. I really don't. It's hard to like them. Bastards. And Matt Gaetz and that bitch from Neptune, MJT or MTG. I think she sits up and thinks of bullshit to say. I really do. I think she probably sits down at night and thinks about dumb shit she can say, because she is dumb. I don't give a shit what nobody say. Ooh, I got this wonderful fruit salad. It's watermelon season, y'all. This piece I've just bitten into, it's the truth. Woo! That was wonderful. That was a party in my mouth. Oh, Lord. Let me read some of your comments. Jace, I think that Manchin has a mistress, and Trump knows it and is holding it over him. Also, he's taking money from the Yeah, that's the Heritage Foundation is a Koch thing. I think he's probably involved with some oil shit. Coal? Because in West Virginia they had a lot of coal and a lot of miners. So I'm thinking he's got his pop. Yeah, he's being bought by the Koch brothers. He's the worst. He's the worst. He's allowing the Republicans to do exactly what they did to Barack Obama. People were saying, well, Barack didn't reach out to the other side. I said, yes, he did. But when you're a racist, you're not going to shake a black man's hand, especially when you're in Washington and you're being served by black people. Republicans dogged Obama out, even if it was their idea, even if he thought, well, yeah, that's great, let's do that. And he tried. To me, I'm just sick of them wanting to be decent. This is hardball. You got to play hard. And there has to be a way to get some shit done. And Chuck Schumer knows Mitch McConnell. Schumer needs to get on top of his game, too. He needs to get on top of his shit. It took him how many days for Mitch to even give him the gavel? That was how shocked McConnell. He wants power. I want his rotten ass to go home. I just can't believe it. That in this 21st century, black people are still trying to get the right to vote. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? What the fuck? Fuck Roberts, the rapist Kavanaugh, the handmaid, whatever her name is. Roberts, Scalia, Alito, and Thomas gutted the Voting Rights Act because I guess since 2 or 3 Negroes could vote, America wasn't racist anymore. I don't have to. I got kicked off Twitter. I think the final straw was when I sent a scathing diatribe to Kavanaugh. And at the end, I said, I believe Christine Blasey Ford. They said I was doing terroristic stuff. I wasn't. I don't have to respect you because you wear a robe. I don't. And I don't. And they recently ruled that people that have been here for decades can't apply for citizenship. What the fuck is that? What is that? The Supreme Court. I just am at the point where I'm almost. It's just the law is just a joke. Anybody can be bought, you know? Anybody can be bought. I suspect that Roberts there was some shit with Roberts when in that first impeachment when he wouldn't involve himself. But he scored his he scored his appointment on the bench from George Bush after that after Al Gore challenged the results, the election results. I was part of the team. I was doing my bit, turning those documents around. Part of the team in Atlanta that got it to the Supreme Court because it was appealed, came to this circuit. It's pretty exciting. You go sit in the conference room and have operator number 9 or whatever his number was clear the line and tell us the next person that'd be on the phone will be the Vice President of the United States. It was cool. And we were very sad when he decided he wasn't going to pursue it any longer. But Roberts was part of the defense team for Bush. That's how he got his appointment to the bench. Clarence Thomas ain't nothing but the shoe-shine boy. He shouldn't even be on the bench. That bitch wife of his, ooh, Jesus, Jenny. She's a mean-spirited old hag, and she helped people get on those buses for the insurrection, and she was in Donald Trump's ear, telling him who was against him and who was with him and who he should consider. You know, that's not right. Thomas shouldn't even be on the bench. He should resign. I think some of them might resign. But the Supreme Court has become a joke. The only ones I respect are Sotomayor, Kagan, and we might get ourselves a black justice on there, though, a black female. The court is supposed to represent the people that it's ruling over, you know? That's what's happening in this country. We are all here. We are all Americans. Our ass is going to be here. Get over it. We may as well just get the fuck over it. Well, I've run my mouth. I think I'll read some comments. Let's see here. I do think that Schumer is strategic. I think that he'll come through. I hope he does. I hope he does. He's actually coming out with much more. He's not holding back anymore. I'm glad to see that he's not trying to be a gentleman. I'm glad that he's recognizing that you cannot play with these motherfuckers. You can't play with them. They don't play fair. They will cheat and do whatever they need to do to stay in office. And I think somebody knows that Lauren Boebert helped those people come into she was doing reconnaissance work. I think what they are hiding is the fact that they know somebody in their party is the reason those people were able to find rooms that people that had worked in the dome in Congress for years that didn't know how to access that room. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And more the Q children are now running for office. So we really have to pray for this nation. We have to pray and pray and pray and pray. I don't even try to talk to anybody who has these crazy ass beliefs. You can't. If they think that they're going to always believe it was that the election was stolen, that Trump is a true president, and now with them defending him, I think it's going to say, yeah, we know he's in the background running things. Did y'all see his pants when he was at the North Carolina rally? Daddy's pants were pretty big. He probably wearing a big Depends. Mm-hmm. Noel Casler talks about it a lot. If he's a comedian, if you get a chance and to catch some of his videos, he's funny, but he talks a lot about what went down on the set of The Apprentice. So yeah, he's probably wearing big Depends, and I think maybe he has to be thinking that this is not going to last forever, because New York is bearing down. He got a bunch of shit coming at him. But hey, when you play with the devil, shit happens. It's self-inflicted. I actually had written some notes and had some organized thinking. I wanted to share some of my adventures in life, and I will do that on another video. But the next time I come on, since I won't be able to do it next Saturday because I have a gig, I'll come on. Let's see, what's that date? Can you believe half the year's gone? It's down here from now. Let's see. I will be back on the 26th. Wow, June is almost gone. I'll be back on the 26th, and I'm going to invite somebody to come on with me. One of my brother from another mother. I'm not going to tell you who it is yet. As I said, you will know the name of the group. And have them come and we can chat and talk and have some fun. But in the meantime, what I want all of you to do is release and surrender. You don't have to be strong all the time. You don't have to be strong all the time. You are not in control any damn way. You may as well release and surrender. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I feel much better now that I'm able to talk to you all again. I really miss coming on. I really did. Pray for me, y'all. Pray for me, child, because it's getting to the place where I just really, anymore, my evil twin is kind of surfacing when she needs to come out, and talking bad to the people. So, So pray for me that I remain charming and gracious, and I don't have to mace nobody. I don't have to mace the shit out of somebody like they're a roach. And thank you, Chris Wickens and Edwina Stevens and Lisa and Carter Mancy Mesquite. You know, a lot of the Doreen Arnold, Clarence that came on. Did I thank you, Keisha? A lot of the mods have Electra Storm. Thank you so much. A lot of the mods that used to come, Connie Brown, and like I say, figure there's not enough people on there for them to come and moderate. But I just was giving them a shout out. I miss them, you know. One of these days, I look forward to the day when this channel is just gonna blow up. It's gonna blow the fuck up, and then y'all gonna be coming wanting to be a part of the thing, okay? All of you have a great night, and I did enjoy this moment with you. Thank you so much. You don't know how much it means to me. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see you on the 26th. We'll have something special going on for Black Music Appreciation Month. Yay! I'm glad to be a part of it. Take care. Good night.